Everybody knows he's got to go back. Ah, I'm not going to go back. Shemai, welcome back. So I'm just out here today in the Brecon Beacons, not far from Llwynon Reservoir, if you know where that is. And yeah, just kind of having a last walk around. Not a last walk as in I'm dying. I just mean a last walk before me and my mates start the Beacons Way. So we're starting that on Monday, so we've only got 3 days left before we start. And just in case you didn't know, the Beacons Way is a trek from one side of the Brecon Beacons to the other. Usually if you look at all the guidebooks and things, it starts from the east end, so in Abergavenny, and goes all the way over to the west end then in Llangadog. But we're going the other way around just because it suits us a little bit better in terms of getting home and stuff at the end of the trip. But yeah, so the Beacons Way is a 99-mile long trip. I'm hoping that it takes us around 8 days. At least that's what all the guides say. Again, I've never done it before, so I don't really have much of a clue. But it should take us 8 days. Could be less, highly doubt it. But it could be more. It could be more like 9 or 10, depending on how fast or slow we go. So yeah, the three of us have been planning this trip for quite a while. We've been talking about it all year long. So it'll be good finally to get going on Monday. But like I say, never done anything like this before. So I don't really know how it's going to go. Probably should have done a lot more training for it, but there we go. Like I say, we've been doing little walks with our bags and things. A couple of those I've posted. So just to get a feel of what it's going to be like walking up and down the hills with the bags on. I mean, it's going to be a challenge. Like I say, never done anything like it before. But I'll be documenting it every single day. So there should be 8 parts to this Beacons Way series that I'll be filming. And like I say, it's good just for us to have some sort of video log of the thing, good for us to look back on. But then I thought I'll also film it, start this channel just so other people can see, you know, what kind of walks and different adventures we can have here in Wales. There's plenty to be had, and we've got loads more planned after this one. But the focus now is just on just on surviving this 8 days starting Monday. But yeah, so my plan today is, well, it's taken me a while just to get to a place where I can film. It's been really, really windy up on the tops of some of these hills, hence why I'm down in this little ditch here. But the plan is just to have a little walk around. I think there's like there's a spot on the maps, Cadarfach or something I think it's called. I'm just going to walk up that way and just have a little chat about the Beacons Way, how I'm feeling about it. And yeah, I'm just going to frolic around the fields, and you can listen to me chat some absolute bollocks along the way. So catch you in a bit. You know, little bee pollinating all the way up on the hills here. Nothing much around, but he still managed to find this little flower. There he goes, he's off. Yeah, I've got cameras in one hand, controllers in the other, drones following me around. Bit of a one-man band, this. Don't know where to look. Do I look at that? Look at that. This is also, as well, a little bit of a practice for the Beacons Way in terms of filming. It's quite awkward to bring the drone because it is quite heavy. There's the controller, which weighs quite a bit. But I'm just thinking in terms of filming, it's going to be a lot more interesting if I've got the handheld shots as well as the drone stuff. I think it'll just make it a lot more interesting to watch. So I think I am going to have to bring it. So yeah, just treating this as a little bit of a practice in terms of, so I've got a new DJI mic, or DJI. I've got a new mic that I'm testing out today, haven't used it before. So like I say, it's a little bit of a test of all the filming kit, so I know exactly how to film it all, really. Because like the mic is connected to the camera, so my handheld. So I'm recording the video and audio through that. So I'm planning to just sync it up with shots of the drone and just lay that over the video of the action camera and hope that works. I don't know. Like I say, just kind of figuring it out today, just so I'm ready for Monday, really. Just as a little warning as well, if I'm filming 8 days worth of walking content with those two other fools, we might end up speaking a little bit of nonsense, chatting a little bit of shit along the way. I reckon by the time it gets to day 6, 7 and 8, it will just be pure waffle. So this is your warning beforehand. Waffle will be chatted. That's not a bad view, mind. So if you can see out that way, so you've got Pen y Fan and stuff just to the left there. So Llwynon Reservoir's down this way. Another reservoir I forget the name of, just down that way. So there's a couple leading up to Pen y Fan, just along the A470, if you haven't been there before. I don't know if you can see me there, you probably can. But I've just drawn a little square around myself, clicked automatic track and just go. And this thing will just follow me until the battery dies. So it's on automatic mode, like I say. Sometimes it'll do little circles around, sometimes it'll hang in front, follow you behind. So it does a few different moves and I don't have to do anything. Like even though I'm carrying the controller, I could just put it in my bag and just let it fly, really. So it's a really cool, cool bit of kit if you're trying to film and you're just by yourself and have to worry about controlling it as I walk. So it's yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, there's a sign over here. What's this sign say? Bit of a random place to have a sign. I mean, there's no paths here. I'm just in the middle of the field. There's this. Oh, look. The Molly Memorial. In loving memory of Anthony Russell, 16th of November 1944 to 14th December 2023, whose spirit brews up near these rocks while his dog Molly charges across the mountainside. They love this place forever in our hearts. That's nice. So like I say, you've got Pen y Fan just that way, and that is where every single person will go for a walk. If they're in this area, they will just go to Pen y Fan. And even though it's a really nice mountain, it's too busy these days. Even if you go at 4 in the morning to try and get a sunrise or whatever, there's still loads of people there. So I much prefer coming to bits like this. Like I say, I can still see Pen y Fan. I'm just the other side of the road and I can walk for miles and miles and miles around this stuff and not see a single person. So if you're trying to get out of it all, out of the city or whatever, great spot for just coming for a walk completely alone. It's nice. That's the thing, if I'm coming for a walk, ideally, I don't want to see another person. A couple of people along the way, give them a nod, give them a bore da, whatever, that's nice. Hang on. Sorry, my drone was trying to fly back to its home point. So what the drone does is it, like, wherever you take off, that sort of logs it as its home point. But at the minute, if I show you on the drone, that's all the way out there somewhere. So when it gets to a low battery, what it will do is fly back to home. So I've just got to control it manually a sec just to bring it down. Completely lost my train of thought there. But just in general, like I say, if you want to come for a walk and not see anyone, it's great up on these hills here. You just see lots and lots of sheep and that's about it. There's also as well, I'll show you in the drone, on the drone in a bit, but a lot of these sinkholes all the way along, big sinkholes, some of them are massive. And basically it's from the ground just collapsing in on itself. Sometimes you can get underground tunnels and things, and over time the ground will just get weak and it'll just collapse in on itself. So there's probably hundreds of them all the way along these fields. Like I say, I'll get the drone up in a second and show you, but yeah, it's basically just weak ground that collapses over time. So it could happen anywhere. So if I get stuck, that's what you'll see actually. It'll just be this pole sticking out, me filming it all as I get crushed to death by dirt. This would be my last video then. This would be my goodbye to the world. God, I can half chat some shit. So yeah, Beacon's Way, nearly 100 miles, just under with 99. It's one of the most well-known multi-day hikes in Wales. There are a few more that we do hope to get round to eventually. I mean, the biggest one would be the Cambrian Way. Now that is all the way through Wales from south to north or north to south. I can't remember the exact distance on that one. I think I did mention it in one of the first videos, but that would be a long-term goal, the Cambrian Way, but I'm pretty sure that one takes between 4 and 6 weeks. I can't remember exactly. So that would be that'd be a big one to do. But yeah, other than the Cambrian Way, you've got I think there's the Snowdonia Way, so Llwybr yr Eryri, and then there's obviously the Welsh Coastal Path, which we're doing already in parts, but like I say, that one's way too long to be able to do it in one go. So we've got that one on the go already. I do love the idea of kayaking the whole length of Wales. That would be a pretty cool one. And then if you go into England and stuff, then you've got the Cotswolds Way, the South Downs Way, a gazillion walks up in the Lake District. So yeah, there's oh, and Hadrian's Wall, that's another good one that I do fancy doing. I think it's a little bit shorter than the Beacon's Way, at around 88 miles. So yeah, there's loads of these long distance hikes that I really fancy doing, and I think the boys are pretty keen as well, but it all kind of depends how this first one goes, I guess. And this will be a good judge for us as to how fit we really are, and if we need to do a lot more training when it comes to these longer walks. But yeah, mine now, it's all just thinking about the Beacon's Way on Monday. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it, looking forward to filming it. I think that'll be a bit of a challenge, is to film it in a way that looks good. That's the only thing about filming it all for 8 days. It's, like I say, a lot of extra kit to bring, and then I've got to try and charge it, so that means battery packs and so on. So yeah, it does add some extra weight and adds a bit of effort, but I think it'll be worth it in the end for the millions of views that I'll end up getting. More like 10. But yeah, so I'm not really sure how it's going to go. It'll definitely be difficult. 100% it's going to be difficult. How difficult, I don't really know. The only proper test that I've done, really, that one multi-day hike, the one night I did up in Llymbriana, so Llandyfri, Llymbriana, and like I say, that was a similar distance in terms of walking. That was about 21 kilometers a day. It's a similar distance in walking, but that was only one night, and I did find that one quite difficult. So I got a good idea of what it feels like to walk with the bag and all that, but I think by day 6, 7 and 8 might have to get the stretcher out, I don't know. Nah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Like I say, really looking forward to it. And just want to get going now, really. Yeah, so this is just the last walk, making sure my shoes feel all good before we start. And just having a quick think, making sure I haven't forgot anything. I mean, with the amount of stuff that's in my bag, it feels almost impossible that I've forgotten anything, but there's bound to be something that I haven't quite thought of. So I've got a new pack which you've seen once before, the Osprey Rook, and then just got a load of meal packs, the dehydrated meal packs yesterday. I mean, you'll see plenty of this stuff as we're doing the walking, so I don't want to talk too much about it now. You can see here on the drone, look, that's all I've been doing is following these sheep paths. So these are paths along the mountain where the sheep have been walking. So there's no actual paths, but there's always something to follow up here. Yeah, so, I mean, these views are just fantastic. So yeah, the real question, am I ready? Am I ready for this long hike that we're going to be doing? I don't know, potentially, We'll see. Beat. Turd. Yeah, so these are the shoes I'm planning on using for the Beacons Way. They're just some Adidas like hiking trainers. I got them a couple of years back. They're pretty comfy. They are like Gore-Tex, they should be pretty waterproof. But I just thought I'd rather wear a trainer, something that's a little bit lighter on the foot, if we're going to be walking for that many days. And the boys have decided they're wearing boots because they want something sturdy with more ankle support. So a couple of ways of thinking about it, I guess. But again, as I've never done anything like it before, I don't know what I'd prefer. So hopefully this is the right choice. Skylark. Skylarks always seem to be mentioned in these videos. I don't know what it is. There's always chat about skylarks. Can't escape it. Or is it a thrush? Might be a thrush. So just to give a little bit extra info on the Beacons Way, I'll just read off what it says in Google here. The Beacons Way was established in 2005 by John Sansom. He conceived the route with the help of Arwell Michael and Chris Barber. The Beacons Way is a 100-mile long distance path traversing from east to west. But yeah, so it's been an official route, I guess, since 2005. But I've been warned that the initial sections that we're doing between Llangadog, Castell Caracennyn, Llynefan, I think there could be some slightly overgrown parts. But other than that, let's say there's an official route on your OS maps. There's a dotted green line showing the entire thing. So yeah, just reading there, it says that in 2016 there's a slightly updated version of the walk. So if you've got older OS maps, the route on there might be slightly different now. So like I say, since 2016 it's been slightly altered. So if you've got the newer OS maps, that should be okay. So it says it's a challenging route, but well within the reaches of a fit and competent hill climber. Am I one of them? Time will tell. So again, it says that the trail often goes into areas of the park that aren't usually explored. So if you're sticking to the bigger walks, like say your Llynefan, Penafan, just the big mountains and stuff, hopefully what will be good about the Beacons Way is it should take us on these little paths and things that we definitely wouldn't have seen before. And I know for a certain there's going to be loads of areas on that path that I haven't seen, so it's going to be great just to see the entirety of the park. In terms of the distance that we'll be walking each day, big pit. In terms of the distances, it can vary from 16 kilometers a day to about, I think the most is 22 or 23 kilometers. Whether we stick exactly to those recommended sections, I don't know. But I think it just lessens the distance when you've got the big hills and things. But like I say, if we're doing well, if we're walking well, we might go further. I don't know, it all depends. Depends on weather and things as well. At the minute, looking at weather, there might be a bit of rain on the Monday. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, going into Thursday looks pretty clear. So, but then I've also heard some other reports saying that there could be storms coming in next week. So who knows? Who knows? So according to the BBC and the Brecon Beacons National Park, the park itself, it says, attracts about 4 million visitors each year. So it's a decent number considering there's only 3.3 million people living in Wales. But then the Beacons Way path, it says you can't know exactly how many people, but it's only a few hundred people that walk it every year. So obviously people will walk sections pretty often, but to walk the whole thing, you only get a couple hundred a year. So, so yeah, I don't really know how many people we'll see along the way, but I wouldn't have thought too many on some of the quieter sections. Once we hit like Penafan and things, That'll be the busiest places, I would have thought. If we're hitting those busier areas and there happens to be a storm, I doubt there'll be many people out. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, kind of not knowing exactly what the weather's going to be doing, where exactly we're going to be camping each night. We've got rough ideas, but we haven't set anything in stone yet. So I think it will be mostly wild camping. We might end up landing in a campsite at some point, but for the most part it will be wild camping. And in terms of the rules with wild camping in Wales, it's the same as England. It's not technically legal, but the advice is if you do it, make sure you leave no trace. So you can get away with wild camping pretty easily, especially when you're up on the hills like this and there's no one around. But the main rule is leave no trace. So you can't leave any rubbish or just any signs at all that you've been there. And as long as you go and camp sort of towards the evening time when most walkers have gone home, and you get up early enough in the morning, most of the time you're pretty safe. But yeah, number one rule is just leave no trace. But yeah, so it might sound a bit dramatic, all this, me being bigging up this 8-day walk. It might not be much to some people, but it's just because I've never done anything like it before. So yeah, my main aim now over the next 3 days is just to make sure I don't twist an ankle, break a leg or something, because that would be pretty gutting. Because like I say, it's been planned for months. But watch me like snap an ankle as I'm going down these rocks now. So yeah, in terms of the walk itself, like I say, I'll be filming it all, but I won't be able to post the videos until we're back and I've got it all onto my laptop and edited it and all that jazz. But I am on Instagram and TikTok as Tom Rees Outdoors, same as it is here on YouTube. So there'll be daily uploads, probably just photos, quick little videos on each day of the walk, just so everyone knows that we're alive. So yeah, if you want to keep up to date, go follow those. But yeah, the longer YouTube videos, like I say, I'll do a part for each day, so it should be an 8-part series of the Beacons Way. Make sure you stay tuned, that'll be with you in about 10-11 days, something like that. But yeah, camera's about to die now, and like a fool I didn't bring an extra battery, so I'll log off here, or I'll cut back to some drone footage from earlier and I'll log off back there. Right, here's me saying bye before I say bye back there. Right, ta-da. So yeah, am I ready for the Beacons Way? Who knows? But I'm saying with this channel, I think the point is I would like to grow it. Initially I was just thinking, oh, I'd love to record the Beacons Way and just have that video log so me and my mates can look back on it. But there's lots of these sort of outdoor channels. There's a bloke called Liam Brown who does a lot of great stuff, English guy. There's a northern bloke, Hayes Outdoors. He's probably my main inspiration for doing something like this. But it would be good to try and grow the channel a bit and film more of these multi-day hikes. And the bigger things get, the more of a push it is for me, I guess, to go out and do more walking, to do more camping. And yeah, so that's the ideal, grow it a little bit. And I guess the more people are watching, the more people are interested, the bigger and better hikes I can do. I mean, I've already just talked about ones in Wales and England and so on, but then in Scotland, you've got the West Highland Way, you've got in England, the coast to coast. There's so many of these multi-day hikes that I'd love to do. I feel like if I've got some sort of audience behind me, it's just more of a push to do them. Yeah, so if I can manage to grow this thing and it does get to, who knows, 100,000 subscribers, I'd like one of those little YouTube plaques. If things do get bigger, then I can afford to maybe go to France and places and do the Tour de Mont Blanc and all these bigger, grander hikes, which I would love to get to eventually. And like I say, it's not just walking, there's kayaking, there's all sorts. Like I say, I've got the paddle boards, I'd like to do more with that. I'd like to do more sea swimming. And like I say, this camera was supposed to be waterproof. Like I say, I haven't really tested that yet. but I'd like to get this out and do some diving. Yeah, there's so much I want to do, all outdoorsy based stuff. And like I say, the more of you there is, the more of a push it is for me to actually film it and get out there and do the stuff as well. So yeah, I don't really know exactly what this video was. It was more of a, just letting you know to tune in. Well, it won't be next week because we'll be walking it, but the week after, hopefully I'll start getting the videos out. I think it's going to take a long time to edit it because I do want to do 8 parts. And if they're like half hour each, that's quite a lot of time of editing then. But yeah, so I guess it was more just to tell you that that's happening, but then also just a little rant about whatever I've been ranting about. I don't know, I've lost track. But yeah, so I hope it sounds okay with the mic. Apologies for the bits earlier. There's definitely going to be some noise of drone in the background, but I'll fix that for next time. I mean, now I know. That's what it's about. It's about learning it now, just so that I don't spoil it in the future. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed whatever this was, and I'll catch you on the Beacon's Way. Hwyl fawr. Oh, Dwayne, what are you doing up here, mate? Dwayne. Get it? Because it's rock.